Hi everybody, it's Luke the Urban Farmer, and today is Wednesday, July 14th. The sun has finally come out after about 10 days of mostly overcast skies, and stuff is going to grow crazy if we get sun for a few days here. Um, so I wanted to start out by giving you an idea of how tall my heirloom corn has gotten. So to do that, I'm going to go climbing into the garden here over the fencing. So hopefully I don't fall down, or else that'll be a different type of YouTube video. So bear with me for a minute. Okay, so as you can see, the tallest corn is officially as tall as me. So that's like about 5 feet 7 inches. And I'll give you a close-up in just a minute here. Some of the stalks have started to tassel. So we are going to get corn. So give me a minute to get back out of here. With all this fencing that I've had to put up because of the rabbits this year, it's like a jungle gym trying to navigate without falling on my face. Okay, success. So, this is the King Philip heirloom corn that was grown by the Wampanoags before the Pilgrims even arrived. And as you can see, it's starting to tassel. Now, what we're going to do with this, so this is planted in the Three Sisters bed, so as you can see, there's a lot going on here. So besides the corn, we've got some pumpkins for ground cover. We've got some pole beans in here, which are starting to climb up the corn stalks. And we've got squash as well. So this was a traditional way to plant. The beans provide nitrogen for the soil. The squash and pumpkins provide ground cover to keep the moisture in and to keep weeds out. And the corn provides support for the pole beans. So it's all a synergistic companion planting type of garden that has been used for hundreds, if not thousands, of years. So that's the corn and Three Sisters bed. I'm very happy, excited to see what happens with this. I haven't grown corn for a long time. The difference with this is it's not a sweet corn. It's designed to be left on the plant. You pull the husks back when the corn seems ready, and you let it dry right on the plant. So I'm going to have to provide some coverage so the squirrels don't devour it. And then you grind it into cornmeal. So, and make some traditional Wampanoag recipes with it, like fritters and cornbread and stuff like that. I finally seem to have found a solution for the rabbit infestation. I've got some beans planted in the ground that are actually surviving finally. So what I ended up purchasing, besides the LED solar high frequency strobe light device, which you see right there, and onions and human hair and fencing, I picked up something from the hardware store called Liquid Fence, which is a granular rodent repellent, and I can't pronounce the word, but the primary ingredient is diethylene humus or whatever, earth, plus various oils like cinnamon oil and things like that, which have a natural um, repellent quality. Now, the great thing about this, as opposed to a spray, is the granules last for up to 4 weeks, even with rain. So I haven't had these new emerging beans attacked. Fingers crossed. They were attacking the cucumbers back there too, but the cucumbers over there, they're the only in-ground cucumbers that have survived this year. Everything else is in pots and containers because the bunnies just kept eating everything. Those have finally survived and are starting to flower and trail up, and it might be a little bit later for my cucumbers this year than normal, but it was such a challenging spring and early summer. June was just horrifying as far as everything being mowed down time and time again. Potatoes are still doing their thing. Nowhere near ready to harvest yet. If I did harvest now, I'd probably get some baby potatoes, but that's not what I'm after. I had to move the sunflowers out of the ground into a secure location because those were getting mowed down. Here is another planting of bush beans in a container. So those will be ready, like, I just planted these a couple of days ago. They'll be ready like mid-September. Peppers, this is a poblano pepper. And we've got some hot cherry peppers over there. We've got sriracha, hot Hungarian wax, Jimmy Nardella, which is a heirloom variety, and yeah, I said sriracha already, and jalapeno, I believe. But anyway, I've already canned some hot peppers marinated in olive oil. Great recipe. I posted it on the Facebook page, so check it out if you want to try the same thing. They're really delicious. These carrots these are the fingerling carrots, so they are small to begin with. They could be ready to harvest. And I hesitate on carrots because I don't want to pull a carrot and find out it's tiny, tiny. But you can see this one, starting to see the carrot on the top. So it's getting close to harvest time. The beans, I've already been harvesting some from the container here. Oh yeah, we got plenty, see? Plenty of nice green beans there. And, you know, people think, oh, you have to plant in space this far apart and that far apart. When you do it in containers, you can just cram the stuff in there and let it go crazy. The more the merrier, kind of. Sweet potatoes in a big flower pot are vining like crazy. We got vines here that are like, oh, I don't know, 5 feet long at least. So I've never grown sweet potatoes. This will be fun. Something nice for Thanksgiving. You can see lots of peppers on this plant. Those could be pickled or used in a variety of different ways. More beans in a container. These are yellow beans, and you can see plenty. And you can see how closely together I've got these planted. So it's fine. I mean, one of the reasons why they recommend spacing and stuff, certain spacing, is because if you're growing like on a farm, you need room to get like the tractors and the tillers and all that stuff in between the rows. When you plant it in a container, you can just plant it. And look at how much. I mean, this one plant is just loaded with delicious, probably these are the yellow Cherokee wax beans. These are an heirloom variety of carrot here. They are going to grow kind of like a roundish shape, and I'm not seeing any popping through the surface yet, so I'm just going to let these go. They haven't flowered or anything like that yet, so they haven't gone to seed, so they're still, oh, there's, well, see, here's one down here. You can see it's kind of big around, you can see in there, but that's going to be a nice big fat carrot, unlike a traditional cylindrical carrot. And these again were grown by indigenous people in the upper Midwest and southern Canada hundreds of years ago. And off the top of my head, I don't remember the name, but I planted them April 14th. Okay, so almost 3 months exactly. More sunflowers. We'll come around here. Got a lot of nice nasturtiums. The flowers are edible. And zinnias, attracting pollinators. And then we can come into the tomato bed. So I had zinnias here, and you can see that the rabbits, I assume, recently just did a number on those, unfortunately. Tomatoes, these, I always forget the name, sun sugar, cherry tomatoes, are producing abundantly. See? And they're just really delicious. So good. Tons of green tomatoes. These are plum tomatoes, San Marzanos. I'm not going to go through each one. Well, here's a little tiny, what is this? Smaller than I expected they would be, but to be honest with you, while I'm here, I always do a little flicking to pollinate these. To be honest with you, I'm not even sure. Oh, here we go. The sign says Beef Master. These are definitely not Beef Masters. Not that size. There's some type of cherry tomato. Looks good. German Johnson. And on and on. So, all these tomatoes need to start ripening. There's plenty of sun. One thing also, if you want to get your tomatoes to ripen, they need sun exposure. So, some of them are like being shadowed by leaves, like over here. I could trim some of these leaf stems off just so that the tomatoes themselves get more sunshine actually hitting them. And that means they'll ripen